welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rainbow.
And we're in the middle of summer rainbow. I don't have to tell you that. You know, we all know it's hot out there. One of the fun things people love to do during the summer is eat watermelon.
I love watermelon juice.
A very popular snack, a very popular fruit here in Taiwan, all around the world, really, in the hot summer months especially. You love watermelon. I'm okay with it. I find it doesn't have much of a flavor.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
It's more water than melon to me, but
true.
It is very refreshing.
It is, it is.
It's good for you. Now, I might not be the biggest watermelon fan, but I think I heard you say that you had a friend who not just doesn't really like watermelon, your friend is actually afraid, frightened, scared by what? Now, is this if I pick up a watermelon and throw it at your friend,
she would scream.
They'll be scared.
Yeah.
Well, I would too, because they're big and heavy. But what if I cut some watermelon and just said, would you like some?
No, she'll throw up. She hates it. Like when we were young, this was in elementary school. It was in the summertime and we had these people cut some watermelons for us.
Sure, nice
and
treat.
She ran away and so all the boys in the class tried to run after her and give her watermelon.
Oh.
She hated it. She cried.
Oh, that's not nice. Was she afraid? Was it the watermelon or maybe the big knife?
I think both.
Okay.
And she doesn't like the taste and she didn't like the smell.
Really? So it is actually the watermelon.
Yeah.
And have you been in touch with her recently? You know, sometimes as a kid, when I was a kid, I didn't really like onions, maybe.
Same here.
But, you know, you grow up, you change. Have you talked to her recently? Has she gotten over her watermelon phobia?
You know, I think that she will probably always stay away from watermelons because of all those scary memories.
I guess so.
Of people trying to scare her with the watermelon.
All right, well, too bad for her, but good news, that means there's more watermelon for us, right guys? So there you go. Now we're gonna have some fun facts about watermelons. Facts we'll find interesting and your friend will find terrifying.
Horrifying.
So don't tell
Awful.
her. But we're gonna read about them anyways. Be brave.
Many people will agree that there's nothing quite like a plate of sweet, freshly cut watermelon to help you feel refreshed on a hot summer day. Indeed, the famous American writer Mark Twain once said that to taste a watermelon is to know what the angels eat. If you feel the same way about this summer favorite, you may be interested in these 5 fun watermelon facts. Watermelons are almost entirely made of water. The water inside them is what makes watermelons so refreshing. But even though watermelons are mostly water, they still have lots of other good stuff. In addition to satisfying your thirst, a big bite of watermelon provides you with a ton of vitamins A and C.
All right, even though I'm not the biggest watermelon fan, I am a fan of weird facts about weird things.
Oh, you know a lot of facts.
I'm looking forward to that. I can't really think of any interesting facts about watermelons, so let's find out about some. It says, many people will agree that there's nothing quite like a plate of sweet, freshly cut watermelon to help you feel refreshed on a hot summer day. Absolutely. It's, I think, one of people's most favorite fruit to have on a hot summer. I've never heard anyone say, oh, it's so hot, I'd love a banana. No one ever says that, right? But it's so hot, I'd love some watermelon. That totally makes sense. All right. Indeed, this is interesting. The famous American writer Mark Twain once said that to taste watermelon is to know what the angels eat.
That's a high praise for watermelon.
Or maybe he thought only dead people like watermelon. Like angels?
Scary.
No, I think he meant it was food for the angels. It was food for heaven. It was godlike. It was wonderful. And hey, this is the guy, one of the most famous American writers, wrote Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. A great writer, a great man of words and wit and wisdom. So if he says watermelon is what angels eat, I say, okay.
Gods and goddesses, right?
There you go. Yeah.
If you feel the same way about this summer favorite, The favorite is the watermelon, used as a noun. You may be interested in these 5 fun watermelon facts. Okay, so we have this word angel, and angels are beings in the sky with wings. You would definitely see pictures of them in, for example, Catholic churches, or you might see this beautiful white picture of like Jesus, or having like this halo on their head. And these are beings who look like people, but they have wings. So I have a sentence for you. Pedro drew a picture of an angel that was standing beside the gates of heaven. So that's right. These angels are these beings who typically are regarded as guardians of heaven, and they sometimes help God or help people with important tasks, and they can also be messengers. So Mark Twain said that watermelon is food for the angels. So I'm guessing it tastes like heaven is what he meant.
Exactly. It's a magical, wonderful, delicious thing. It says here, this is a fact I think I might have guessed.
Yeah.
Watermelons are almost entirely made of water.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's what you said.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water in there. You mean even a juicy apple or a juicy orange won't have nearly that much water inside a watermelon. And it says, and this also makes sense, the water inside them is what makes watermelons so refreshing. In the same way that a glass of water is more refreshing than a glass of orange juice or something, because there's not so much sugar and whatnot. So watermelon is refreshing on a hot day. It does quench your thirst because it is mostly water. But even though watermelons are mostly water, they still have lots of other good stuff. Now, by good stuff, we probably are talking about vitamins and fiber and things like that. But of course, they are mostly made of water. Now, when we say mostly, this adverb is usually talking about kind of like a percentage. It would be a large amount. Not all of it, not totally, but mostly 80, 90%. So if I said, oh, you should hurry to the restaurant, it's mostly full, that might mean there's only 2 or 3 empty seats. Most of the seats are taken, the large majority or a large number, but not all. For example, I mostly eat healthy food. All right, so yeah, maybe once a month I allow myself to have pizza or hamburgers, but mostly I eat healthy food 80, 90% of the time.
Right, and we have another word that's stuff. Stuff is a very general word. You know, in Chinese we say 东西. It's just like things. We don't really need to specify what it is. It's just random things, or we use it casually in conversation. For example, I am a person who doesn't have a lot of stuff. I don't have too many things because I like to keep it simple. Or I have another sentence for you. I have a lot of stuff in my backpack. So when I'm traveling, maybe I don't like to carry a suitcase. So I'd put everything in that backpack and I just have all that I need, and it's kind of heavy. All right, let's go back to the article. In addition to satisfying your thirst, a big bite of watermelon provides you with a ton of vitamins A and C. So like Mike mentioned, watermelon is so good for you because it's not only water, but there are also very good vitamins. And you know, our body needs vitamins. Sure, we can take it in a tablet, but it's really good to get vitamins from fruits, and it also really helps us to quench our thirst, or to get rid of our thirst.
That's right. Thirst is that feeling of wanting to drink something. If you've been working out or outside sweating on a hot day, after 20 or 30 minutes, you might have quite a strong or powerful thirst. You guys might be more familiar with the adjective thirsty. If you're thirsty, it means you want to have a drink. It's kind of like if you're hungry, you want to eat food. But when we talk about that feeling, that is the feeling of thirst or the feeling of hunger. So basically the same word without the Y on the end. So yes, we often talk about water is very good at curing your thirst. Or we also have that special verb to quench.
Quench.
Q-U-E-N-C-H.
It's a harder word.
You quench your thirst when you are thirsty, or when you feel like you really need to have a drink. For example, while Joe was lost in the desert, he almost died of thirst.
Oh no, he needed water.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you die of thirst, I think, after just 2 or 3 days without having water or watermelons.
Yeah, we really need water.
Of course, yes. Let's take a break and we're going to come back with more all about watermelons.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。同学们喜欢吃西瓜吗？在炎炎夏日，应该没有什么比一盘现切西瓜更让人感到清爽了。连美国著名作家马克·吐温都曾经说过，品尝了西瓜就知道天使吃的是什么。大概就是要表达说，吃了仿佛让人置身天堂吧。那我们这2天就来分享几个西瓜的趣闻、有趣的事实。第一个就是西瓜几乎完全是由水煮成的。那么西瓜让人感到清凉，正是因为它里面的水分。虽然它大多是水分，可是还是含有许多其他好东西。所以呢，西瓜除了帮你解渴，还可以提供大量的维生素 A 和 C。好，文中的 vitamin 就是指维生素、维他命。Mike 老师说的 fiber F-I-B-E-R 它可以指纤维、食物纤维。那么单字 angel 就是天使。Rainbow 老师有提到天使头上的光环，那我们学一下 halo H-A-L-O halo 就是光环。下一个单字是 mostly， 它是副词，表示主要的或者是多半、大多。那么 stuff 是指东西、物品，注意它是不可数名词哦。我们会用到 stuff 这个字啊，就表示可能是一些随机的物品，你没有要具体一一说明有哪些东西。所以这时候 Rainbow 老师他用到 specify 这个动词 S-P-E-C-I-F-Y specify 它表示明确指出或者是具体说明的意思。那么 random R-A-N-D-O-M 它是形容词，形容随机的、任意的。那至于 thirst 它表示口渴、渴望，我们可以用 satisfy one's thirst 或者是 quench one's thirst 来表达解渴。那补充一下 quench 这个动词 Q-U-E-N-C-H 它就是表达解除口渴的那个动作。好，那这边3个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 There's nothing like 名词或动名词，是指说没有事物比得上什么什么，最好的莫过于什么什么。那这样的句型是用来强调某人或某事物是最好的。举例来说，There's nothing quite like a good cup of coffee in the morning. 没有什么比早上来一杯好咖啡更好的了。那我们句子里面加入了 quite 是当强调用，去表达说完全的、彻底的。好，第2个重点是 WH 疑问词引导的名词子句。那么 WH 疑问词像 what, where, why, when, who, which, how 它们可以引导名词子句，然后在句中做主词、受词或是补语用。当主词用的话，动词要用单数型哦。我们就来造3个例句。第一个例句是 Why he left remains a mystery. 他为何离开仍然是个谜。这边的 why he left 是当主词用，所以后面搭配单数动词 remains。第2个例句是 I don't know who he is. 我不知道他是谁。这里的 who he is 是当受词用。第3个例句是 This is where we practice dancing. 这是我们练舞的地方。那这边的 where we practice dancing 是当主词补语，用来补充说明主词，让语义完整。好，第3个重点是 in addition to 它是指除了点点点以外还有什么什么。那注意它是片语介系词，后面要接名词或动名词哦。像 in addition to swimming, she enjoys skiing and hiking. 除了游泳之外，她还喜欢滑雪还有健行。那接回到课文中。
They have been part of our diet for more than 5,000 years. There is evidence that watermelons were eaten in northern Africa as early as 3000 BC. Their seeds have even been found in the tombs of ancient Egyptian kings. Experts think they were buried along with the kings as a snack to enjoy after death.
So we come back to the article where we talk about more facts about watermelons. They, that's watermelons, have been part of our diet for more than 5,000 years. That's a really long time. There is evidence that watermelons were eaten in northern Africa as early as 3000 BC. Now, BC is years before Christ, so now we're at 2023, right? So 3,000 years BC is a long time ago. Their seeds have even been found in the tombs of ancient Egyptian kings. I wonder if they were something to do with riches or something. Maybe watermelons really were the food of angels. Experts think they were buried along with the kings as a snack to enjoy after death. So I would say probably the rich really loved watermelons as a luxury.
And of course, Egypt is a hot place.
Very.
So you would definitely have a thirst, and a watermelon worked just as well 5,000 years ago as it does today. Yeah, so much so that the Egyptian kings, the pharaohs, as you might know them as well, they had watermelons buried with them. This was a very common thing. When you bury something, a person or an ancient, Egyptian pharaoh, or even a treasure if you're a pirate, in any case, you're digging a hole in the ground, you're putting something in that hole, and then you are covering it back with the dirt, with the earth that you dug out in the first place. Yes, we will bury bodies in a cemetery or something like that. That's a traditional way. If you're a pirate and have a treasure, you might bury it. Certain people would maybe bury gold in their backyard in case there's some kind of disaster in their life. They can go and dig it up and they'll still have some money. And of course, I don't know if this is true, but I've definitely seen it in cartoons and comics. My dog buried a bone in the yard. Do dogs actually do that?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Maybe they would rather bury some watermelon. Dogs are very intelligent anyways.
They are.
That's all the time we have, guys. I think we're going to go get some watermelon. You should too.
Oh, I want some.
But make sure you save yourself a piece for tomorrow, because we'll be back with more fun facts about watermelons. And I just have a feeling they're going to start coming in funny shapes.
Oh my gosh, square watermelons.
Don't give it away. Spoiler alert. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
好，我们来看第二个西瓜趣闻是5000多年来，西瓜一直都是我们饮食的一部分。有证据显示，早在西元前3000年，北非就有人在吃西瓜嘞。那它们的种子甚至可以在古埃及国王的陵墓当中被发现。专家就认为，他们与国王一起埋葬，是要作为死后享用的点心。好，单字 bury 它就表示埋葬或是掩埋。那么文中的 tomb 它是指坟墓、陵墓。Mike 老师有提到 cemetery 或者是 cemetery C-E-M-E-T-E-R-Y 这个字表示墓地或是公墓。老师还有提到 pharaoh P-H-A-R-A-O-H pharaoh 就是法老。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Many people will agree that there's nothing quite like a plate of sweet, freshly cut watermelon to help you feel refreshed on a hot summer day. Indeed, the famous American writer Mark Twain once said that to taste a watermelon is to know what the angels eat. If you feel the same way about this summer favorite, you may be interested in these 5 fun watermelon facts. Watermelons are almost entirely made of water. The water inside them is what makes watermelons so refreshing. But even though watermelons are mostly water, they still have lots of other good stuff. In addition to satisfying your thirst, a big bite of watermelon provides you with a ton of vitamins A and C. They have been part of our diet for more than 5,000 years. There is evidence that watermelons were eaten in northern Africa as early as 3000 BC. Their seeds have even been found in the tombs of ancient Egyptian kings. Experts think they were buried along with the kings as a snack to enjoy after death.
Okay, don't be scared. Today we're going to be taking a look at a cemetery. Okay, it's not a cemetery anymore. This cemetery has been transformed into a forest park. It's Chiayi's Metropolitan Forest Park, which means it's a forest right in the middle of the city. So let's take a look at all it has to offer.
Chiayi Metropolitan Forest Park is next to Chiayi Arboretum and Chiayi Park. This forest park was a cemetery before. After the cemetery was moved, the green Chiayi Metropolitan Forest Park was built here. Eco-friendly methods are used to save energy and reduce carbon. This forest park was built to create a base for indigenous botanical species. In the forest park, you can find many flowers, a huge grassland, historic sites, and so on. Ye Ming Chun Tomb and Water Source Water Meter Room are historic sites in Chiayi Metropolitan Forest Park. Chiayi Metropolitan Forest Park contains ecology, history, and leisure. Needless to say, this urban jungle is Chiayi's unique treasure and asset.
See, I told you, there's nothing to be scared of. Although there still is one tomb that's left there, but I think you can just avoid that if it's too scary. But seriously, there's lots of beauty to see there. You can learn about the ecology, you can learn about the history, and there's plenty of leisure activities to do to just have a wonderful day surrounded by a forest in the middle of the city. We'll see you next time.